welcome back as we continue to celebrate just fantastic music and the artists behind it. Next, we're connecting with a rising star, undoubtedly in the music world, but she's also just been nominated for not one, not two, but 3 South African Music Awards. Or SAMAs, as we love to call them. It's a pleasure to be connecting right now with the musician known as Sincerely. And good morning. How are you, my friend? How's it going?
Good, thanks, and you, Graham?
Oh, very good. Very, very good. Not quite as good as you, Miss. 3 nominations. I know one doesn't get into an industry like this for the validation, but 3 nods like that, it's got to come as some validation. How are you feeling?
Absolutely mind blown, absolutely excited. Yeah, I must say, when I was at the actual announcements, when it was announced, I was shaking and I was just squealing. I just didn't know what to do with myself.
Put it in perspective, this kind of nod from the industry, because there's one thing, commercial success, we know, hinges on your followers, your audience, the radio play, people connecting to the music. I get that. But when your own industry recognizes that you're quality and recognizes that you're doing something that's going to inspire other artists, because that's why they put you up here, is to show other artists what you're doing. That's the whole trust here. How does that feel at this stage of your career? Because normally this sort of stuff only comes 10 years, 15, 20 years. Once you've got that meat and that traction, it feels like you started yesterday, and all due respect, but it really does feel this is so fresh.
I think it's one thing getting recognized and getting the nod from colleagues and you know, people that you meet in your journey, but I think having the nods from top leaders in the industry, in the SAMAs, you know, the panel of judges, that is very affirming and very inspiring, and it's almost like it just sort of wakes up that sort of imposter syndrome that we all kind of struggle with sometimes.
Sure.
But yeah, when you work through that, it's just like it's inspiring to me, knowing that I'm also inspiring as well.
And keep doing that, man, because the young artists are really invested in what South African music is doing right now. There is an opportunity for singer-songwriters to be intentional about what they want to do. And it does feel like with To Whom It May Concern, there was a lot of intent behind that. Do you feel like you've cracked a code here? Talk us through that creation process. How much was formulaic and how much was just magic coming together organically?
I must say I was very fortunate with this album. A lot of it was inspired by love and heartbreak, and you know, like all artists do in the sense of an album, there's a theme to it, and I really wanted To Whom It May Concern to kind of sound like the opening of like an email.
Yeah.
And the content being like the letters, and with the theme of love being the running theme, I kind of feel like it's love letters in a way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just, a lot of it just came out, like you say, like magic. And I just made sure that I was taking a hold of those opportunities when the art would just flow, and I would just try and write down or record wherever I was some of the process. And I don't think many songs didn't make it on the album, so I'm very fortunate in that way.
Now you got to bottle this. Now you got to bottle this, and you got to keep reproducing it. Does it give you terror, fear, excitement when you see, because this makes it all very real? This has got to be like a marker in the sand of sorts of like, hang on a minute, I'm all in now. I'm doing this. What's next? How do you take this? Obviously, we want to win the awards, but how do you take this inspiration for yourself? Never mind the rest of the industry, but for you, what's the next step, do you think?
I think exactly like you say, it gives that feeling of like, wow, there's literally no turning back now, you know? Not that I think I would ever. I'm very, very tenacious. I will just keep going. I'm very, very, I'm hardworking, and I don't stop, even if I get disappointed.
Fortitude, yeah.
But I think for me now, it was like a rite of passage to write about the pain of heartbreak and love. But I want to sort of transmute that now into still love, but I want to write more songs where I'm trying to love the world by just writing songs that will heal somebody maybe a little bit, or say a little bit of sort of drop a few truth bombs that make people think, and that in itself is quite healing potentially. So that's where I want to take this, and I just want to just feel inspired in a way that I feel like I have a message, and I feel that it needs to be heard, and I say that with humility at the same time. But it's like a purpose that I feel I have now.
There we go. That's the word that I needed to hear. It is your purpose, my friend. It is your purpose. And I can tell you right now, a lot of people are listening. So keep screaming it from the rooftops, mountaintops, wherever you find yourself. I cannot wait for the next time we connect, because I know it'll be for another massive milestone. I can say this being as old as I am and having lived through many of these kind of journeys, you're onto something special. So all the best of luck at the SAMAs. Whether you win or don't win, you are doing it, girl. So thank you for being that inspiration on this side of the industry as well. Good luck to all the SAMA nominees. It's going to be one of the best award shows I think South Africa has ever seen. The quality of the artists speaks volumes.